Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCal Saber here. How are y'all doing? Well, it's the time of the week when we're going to talk about the music from my vinyl albums collections and CD collections that I listened to this week. As you saw, if you watched last week's, I had some microphone issues that the microphone kept cutting in and out of me. That was my Blue Yeti. And so I was disappointed. I should have caught that before I even pushed the video out. I'm sorry about that, folks. I've done a few more tests, and I thought I had it resolved because it was a positioning problem, a gain problem. Then I ran some more tests, and the Blue Yeti was still cutting out. So today, I'm reverted back to using a microphone on a webcam, which shouldn't be better than Blue Yeti, but seems to be. So we'll see how it's going. So before we get started, go down there and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Help the channel grow. Put comments down there. Let me know if you have any of these albums you're going to see today and whether you like them or not. If not, what did you listen to this week? What was your favorite one that you listened to this week? So we are going to get started. And the first one of the week is a 1974 album by Todd Rundgren called Utopia. Yeah, I can hear my phone beeping down there. Okay, this is the first piece of media that I have in my collection by Todd Rundgren. And it's kind of ironic because I forgot that this was even in the bundle from Whatnot. And just before I pulled it out of there, I had gone to my vinyl list and I had entered Todd Rundgren as an artist that I wanted to search for some more music on. So that was kind of ironic that it was happening just at the same time. 24 tracks. This is definitely prog rock. 3 on side 1 and 1 on side 2. And I hope I'm not breaking up when I put that in front of my mouth like that, but we'll see. All right, it was the debut album by Todd Rundgren's band. There's no inner with it. We'll take a look at the actual album. The album peaked at number 34 in the Billboard 200. And critical reaction towards it was mixed. The opening track was recorded live. This album here pushed the limits of music on a vinyl album back then. Almost 60 minutes of music to the point where they had to do some compression to make sure that it all got on the album. And you know what compression does, it reduces the quality of the songs and so forth. And that was resolved when they put it out on a CD. Then there was no compression needed for for that. So good album. I'm glad that I have them in the collection, and I'm sure that Todd Rundgren will still be on my look for some more entertainment as I got on the list. So that was Utopia by Todd Rundgren from 1974. Excuse me for the coughing, folks. I don't know what's going on. The next one I got, and I'm put my head down. The next one I have is probably one of my oldest albums in there, and I've wanted this for a long time. It is 1966 album by Jefferson Airplane called Takes Off. See this little sticker in here? That was from Wisecrack Records. I'll tell you the story about that first, and as soon as I get it out of there. Okay. Anyway, Takes Off was their debut album. This was pre-Grace Slick. Jefferson Airplane, I have 7 LPs, 1 CD, and a 3 CD box set by Jefferson Airplane in my collection. And this one has been on my, it was not easy to find. This is the second version. There was 3 versions of this album put out, the first and the second and the third. The third album, there's 2 songs that were censored, the lines in them, which are really dumb, that they were even censored. And had to be taken out. But this one is uncensored. The only difference between this is 1 song. or a credit, a miscredit on this one here. As you can see, it's pretty old. It's been used and everything, so I can only give this like a strong VG plus probably. Well, maybe VG because there's no splitting in it and so forth. This was their first one. The female they had singing with them then, her name was Signe, S-I-G-N-E, Tori. I think it was Tori. Let me look at my note, make sure I got it this right. No, Toy, T-O-Y, Anderson. And after they released the album and they did a tour, she left the band because she was going to be having a child. So after she left, they hired Grace Slick. They knew about Grace Slick because they had met her before because they had performed in some gigs the same time Grace was singing with the Great Society, I believe it is. And so they hired her. And she came over, brought 2 great songs over with her, and the rest is history as far as Grace Slick and Jefferson Airplane goes. Well, anyway, I've looked for that one for a long time and couldn't find it. So then, I don't know, a while back ago, I went out to Wisecrack Records and I found it out there. It's a used album and it had this little sticker on it where the guy wrote VG on the media, VG plus in the media, and VG on the cover, which is exactly what I would have graded it. So it was used and it was about 35 bucks. And I says, Mom, I even know it's hard to get. I wasn't feeling that day that I wanted to pay that. So I came back and started doing some research on it, using Discogs and some other resources, and found out that that's a pretty average price, $35 to $45 for something in that condition. So I went back there about 3 weeks later. I didn't rush back out there, and I says, well, if it's in there this time, I'll get it. I went in there. It was there. I bought it. Boom. I have it off the checklist into the collection. As you guys know, you people know I'm a big Jefferson Airplane fan. So that my week has been was off to a really good start so far. This first 2. Then I got something that was in a whatnot bundle. I wasn't really sure who it was, but for the price, I took a chance on it. This is an album by an American folk singer named Tim Hardin. Now bear with me while I tell you the name of this one. The name of this one is Suit for Suvin Moore and Damien. Then it goes on dash. We are dash 1, comma, 1, comma, all in one, period. Quite there. This is an album that was created so we're going to talk about his wife and his son. Well, it is a gatefold. And here's the strange thing about this. This album was recorded in 1969, but it wasn't released until 1996. Well, he changed labels and he went up to Nashville, and none of the music on here, this album, was accepted by the label. And so it didn't get published until later on, way after his death, which unfortunately he died at 39 years old, which was classified as a accidental heroin overdose. I always crack up when people say accidental, like he accidentally took heroin. No, I know what it means. He accidentally took too much, but he's got a nice voice. It was pretty popular at the time. And when this album came out, it peaked at number 129 on the Billboard Pop chart. Okay. Okay, so that was Tim Hardin. I have one by him in my collection. You can see this is in not very good shape, this album cover. I'll show you the album itself. It was from Columbia. It's really confusing whether this was released earlier than 96. That just says, oh, it says none of the material. But the album is in pretty good shape. A good singer, I can see why he was popular. You know, a folk singer. You know, I can take folk music. I'm not real big into folk music, but that's okay. Tim Hardin's in the collection. Is he on my list to go look for more material? I don't think so. So that's the way it is. Now the next one, we're going from one extreme to the other. From 1969 to 2025. Yep, this year. Just released in the last week or two is this album by My Morning Jacket. And it's on blue iceberg splash vinyl. How they come up with these names, I'll never know. But anyway, I don't know when it was, 6, 7 years ago, whenever it was. I probably told you this story before. I ran across My Morning Jacket, and I really liked them. And so then I started building some of their discography to the point where this was my 6th LP in the collection by them. And this one was really good. I really enjoyed this. Probably play it again this week. I won't video it again, but I'll probably play it again. They've received a universal acclaim, getting a skill rating of 82 out of 100 from 6 critic sources. Here's the inner Dice production, the album, the cover. This is the inner that came with it. And we also have another handout. Pictures on it. And it opens up to show you lyrics. And some more pictures on the back. It's funny, I didn't know him. I don't know why I didn't know him before, but I've asked my people, my friends and family, you guys like that My Morning Jacket? They said, I've never heard of it, they said. So, I don't know. Give them a chance. Check them out on your social media, on your streaming service. See if you like them or not. Here's the Blue Iceberg Splash. Pretty cool. Pretty cool looking. So there we are with the 2025 release. The name of the album is small I, capital S. That's it. By My Morning Jacket. Another good addition by them into the collection. Well, it was time now to look at the CDs. We'll go to the rack, the old rack, and we pull out number 82. And it's a 1989 album called London, Warsaw, and New York by Basia. This is the only thing I have by her in this collection. It's the second solo album by the Polish-born singer-writer. My daughter Michelle was dancing in a jazz class back then. One of these songs was used for one of their dances, their jazz dances. That's why I picked it up, and I really like the whole album. It's pretty good. You know, the title is inspired by London, Paris, and New York, which is often seen on perfume type products. So she changed, yeah, I said London, Paris, New York. She changed the name to London, Warsaw, New York to replace the word, to emphasize that she is Polish and that the album was written between the 3 countries represented by those cities. It became Billboard's Contemporary Jazz Album of the Year in 1990. Good stuff. So a lot of people liked it beside me. Got a little booklet. There is the CD. Okay, next CD, number 83. It's a 1989 album. No, 1990 album, I'm sorry. Titled Change of Season by Hall & Oates. Some really good stuff on here. At least I thought it was. For Hall & Oates, I have 3 LPs and 3 CDs in my collection by them. This was their 14th studio album by the American pop duo. The lead single, So Close, peaked at number 11 on the Billboard charts and was their last top 40 hit, while the second single, Don't Hold Back Your Love, just missed reaching number 41. I like that, both of those songs. I like Change of Seasons. And I really like the second to last one called Heavy Rain. That was like taking them from a pop to a harder rock type of a song, which was really a nice change of pace. And then they ended up with a slow one, Unplugged. So Close, it is. So anyway, you know, what's really a shame is 50 years of music that they put out. Lots of hits, lots of music liked by a lot of people beside me. And then, I think it was in 2023 that the lawsuits came alive between the two of them. Apparently one of them, I think it was Oates, went and sold the rights to their music without getting approval from Daryl Hall. So Hall followed the lawsuit. The lawsuits went back and forth and back and forth. Where it stands now, I don't know. The only thing I could say is, 50 years, 18 albums, in the Hall of Fame, and the duo of Daryl Hall and John Oates went down in flames. What a shame. And like that, I understand they don't even acknowledge each other anymore. Nice looking CD though, huh? I'll show you the back one more time so you can see the tracks. It might have gone too fast. All right, time for the last album of the week that always comes out of the collection, and it was number 59. It takes us back to 1977 with the Steve Miller Band's album, Book of Dreams. I forgot how good this was until I listened to it this time through. Wow, I really liked the instrumentation throughout the whole album, the songs on it, Threshold, Jet Airliner, Swingtown, Jungle Love, just to name a few. Great album. I probably told everybody that I saw them live at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles, and it was a very good concert. There's an inner with it, and then some credits with the same logo that's on the album. I gotta check and see if that's a Steve Miller logo or just for this album. See, the album peaked in the top 10 of the charts in 4 different countries, including Canada, where the album topped the magazine's 100 album chart. The album has gone on to become one of the group's most successful studio outings. Very good ratings, except one where the person says, this is not an album for the casual fan. And the reason being is, I guess maybe try to save them money. In 1978, they did a compilation of hits 74 to 78, and 7 of the songs in this album are on that compilation. So they said, don't buy this, buy the compilation, and you'll have some for the casual fan. Well, I got both of them. So I said I'm a little bit heavier than a casual fan. I like this a lot. Really made the end of my week perk up. Not that it needed to be perked up, because it's been a pretty good week. And there's the album with that label. It's in a pretty good shape for its age. Has some popping in between the songs. And that popping, I don't know what I can do. I did a spin clean on this one. I guess it didn't get everything that was in the groove, all of the static and so forth. And I guess the only thing that could possibly make that better, and a lot of people swear by them, are the ultrasonic machines, but they are so costly. There's one made by a company named Devor, DEVOR, that's basically just under $200, which is like half the price of the cheapest next one. And so I thought about it, and I did some research. I watched some reviews and some that, and the one gentleman said when he was done, he says, I have spin clean, and then I have this. He says, the improvement I got over the spin clean, I don't think was worth the $200 difference in the cost. But, and what I didn't think of then, I just thought of now. So I've been living by that. So what I just thinking now is okay, if it's only getting this on this album, and then on this album, and this album, and this album, is the overall cost going to be worth it for all of those albums? But ultrasonics are quite a project. You got to go out and buy special cleaning materials for them and so forth. And so, still on my let's think about this list as far as my albums go. So we're done. Now I have to decide, it lets you know which two I picked this week is the ones that I like the most. I started right off the week with that Todd Rundgren's Utopia album, which I really liked a lot. And then Jefferson Airplane takes off. You all know how I like Jefferson Airplane. Okay. Then I was thinking, then the new jacket, the new vinyl that came out a couple weeks ago by My Morning Jacket is, and of course, Book of Dreams, this last one. So my selections for this week to go into the countdowns for the end of the year is the 1977 album by Steve Miller Band, Book of Dreams, and the 2025 album by My Morning Jacket is. So that's it. What do you think? What would you have guessed those or not? So I hope everybody enjoyed this one. This is SoCal Saber saying take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and stay safe.